introduce myself. My name is Shunyaji. I am the head teacher here. In the late 1800s, during the time of the Britishers, about 200 years of rule of the British, and prior to that, almost 1,000 years of Islamic rule. The Indians were forgetting their Vedic heritage. Sanskrit was a passive language. People were interested in learning either Persian or English, and with a language, what is stored with it is a lot of treasure, a lot of knowledge, a lot of science, culture, art, and slowly all of that was also being eroded. And one of the gifts of the ancient Indian sages has been some universal teachings. They cannot be called Hindu, Muslim, Buddhist, Sikh, Jain. We see those universal teachings in almost every religion of the world. And the Vedic age in India was especially significantly very much concerned with those universal values and universal ways of staying close to nature. And being close to nature meant being close to your innermost nature, yourself, and from that a recognition of the supreme consciousness or the God element in the self. So the world outside, the nature, the world inside, which revealed the amazing self. And then the question mark of God, the Creator, was resolved, all from within. So this wonderful treasure of knowledge, this wonderful science quest was all packed in Sanskrit language. But Sanskritam was being forgotten. It was not in vogue. The traditional schools, which were called Gurukuls, they were also called Shalas, they were also, there were various names of different types of schools. Gurukul was a little more formal, like we are, more structured. Sangha, Shalas, Mathas, these were all non-formal schools where people met. These were almost dying out. And a new education system was taking place in India. So my great-grandfather, Paramatma Shanti Prakashji, he was an avid Sanskrit scholar and a lover of Ayurveda, Yoga, Vedanta, Jyotish. He lived by them. He dreamt of them. He only spoke of them. And as a result, he felt, what can I do so that more people can have conversations I like? And so he, like-minded, vibration, charged. I don't think, knowing from his personality, as if he thought, I'll save the Vedas. I doubt if he had this grandiose thought. It was more like, this is wonderful. Those students who live down the street want to learn from me, and those people, those saints who come every rainy season to the Sarayu Ghat, they also come and study with me. So what can I start teaching? And kind of it all started, non-formally, and then it started growing, and ultimately it became a sabha, a whole assembly, and it was called Sadharan Dharma Sabha. And dharma means the essential nature of something. When something is very essentially true, it will be good for me and for you. There will not be a question mark of, if it is appropriate for her but not her. So dharma is that, and it is of two kinds, sadharan and vishishta. Vishishta means specific dharma, and it starts operating in certain situations, like when a mother has a baby, right? Till a woman is only a wife, she is under the wife dharma. But the moment she is pregnant, the mother's dharma also starts operating. This is called vishishta dharma. From time to time, certain situations will occur. For example, many of you who are my ongoing students here, along with your other roles, you are also in Shishya Dharma. And Shishya Dharma includes certain protocols, do's and don'ts, certain dedication to your academics, time carved out for your study, etc. But there is something called Sadharana Dharma. Sadharana Dharma means the universal denominator for all humanity. Be you Christian, Jew, young, old, doesn't matter. Those are the universal human principles of truthfulness, of compassion, hmm? of looking after our body and health, right? Can somebody say, I don't think so, not in my culture, we don't believe in looking after ourselves. There is no such thing, no? Then I don't think so. I think lying is more in vogue. We can say lying is more in vogue, but we all have a memory of what truth does. Does it not? So therefore, there are certain universal values, universal ways of being and expressing, which is called dharma. And in this lineage of teachers, Sadhana and Dharma became the most leading force. And what are the vehicles of teaching this Dharma? That is Ayurveda. Because Ayurveda is not only, if you are thinking, a science to heal the body and fix the disease or set the, a difficult limb in motion. It is a science that can make a human being potentially self-realize. It is a moksha shastra. It can bring psychological well-being, physiological well-being, and social well-being and spiritual well-being. So Bade Baba, as I called him lovingly, as we all call him, knew that Ayurveda is the most optimum vehicle for learning and living and teaching these qualities. And my students here are learning about this. And today's topic of psychology, the mind. If the mind was suffused with dharma, then the mind would not have its tantrums. Right? And all of mind's power, be it pure power, be it anger, be it aggression, be it assertiveness, be it tenderness, be it showing the boundary, be it softening the boundary, all of them will be done with a certain mindfulness, a certain sense of mastery, rather than the mind being a master of us. But this is a unique kind of mind that has been nourished with dharma. Well, a default mind, it's like a monkey which is drunk. It is jumping from tree to tree and we are running behind it. So it is not that easy position to take. So coming back to where I am starting from is these people here, they represent role models for us in this school. The Gurukul tradition of education is a lived tradition. There are people who have lived this education before. We believe there will be people who will continue living it and live beyond us. So the education never takes a break. And there are people who will testify that, you know what, this knowledge I have not only learned, I have internalized it, I am living it, and I am noticing the change. I am noticing the fruit. So as a result, we can say that my teachers are my role models, and I try to be a role model for my students, and then we expect our students to be role models for their students or for their patients. So this way, this is in short the Gurukul Parampara or the Gurukul tradition, in which the teacher and the student are a human chain through which information from wonderful texts called Grantha, these are our classical texts, they are thousands of years old, they have been translated in many languages, and they are continuing to be taught even in Indian universities where Ayurveda is being taught, what to say in the Gurukul where they are being worshipped. And when I say worship, we should say it from a heart place, not from a locked and boxed and sealed place, not from that place. Because nowadays, even the word worship needs justification. Everything is a question mark, is it not, in our culture today? But we were hoping that we would create a platform where the Ayurvedic education can not remain only a mystical experience or only a scientific, process to create natural pills or herbs as a substitute for chemically derived medication. We wanted to bring a synthesis. We believe that the spirituality, the science, the art, the divine message, they all coexist together. And from that place, we will continue to study in Vedika with great respect and thanks to the great sages who gave us this science with open heart and generosity. And many of you who are here because you have heard something good about Ayurveda from someone. You are here because you have heard about it. So there is a grassroots appreciation that we are noticing for sciences like Ayurveda. And Yoga Darshan is the science of mind, the science of transcending the mind, the science of transcending the mind to become established in the true self. And Yoga Darshan and Ayurveda go back as the Rig Veda, the oldest now written, but the oldest known record of knowledge in the Vedic Indian tradition. Like you have the Mayan civilization, right? The Aztec civilization, yeah? So in India we have the Vedic civilization, which is about 7 to 10,000 years old, based on historical, paleontological, linguistic, and myriad, now even DNA evidence. There is a very developed culture in ancient India. And this is Ayurveda is the science of holistic living. There was science, military science, there was physics, there was biology, there was chemistry, there was surgery, there was music, there was forest science, science for animals. So there was a very big intellectual explosion occurring. And we have some whole pieces of it with us in Ayurveda, which we greatly appreciate. So I am who? I am their student. Many of the people around you are students of mine who come here because they can't get enough of Ayurveda, though they are in class a lot. So I thank you for continuing to learn from the sages, from the teachers, from the ancestors, from the role models, and all of these people. So that is the beauty. Also today is a preparatory class, and in the last class I touched upon it, that we were not really prepared for this life, were we? Did you know? There was no planning. And we lead a bulk of our life in an unplanned way, in a reactive way. And learning Ayurveda, and specifically learning the beauty that Ayurveda psychology, that gem of teaching that we have from the psychological mind, psyche healing aspect of Ayurveda, it really starts preparing us perhaps for the fundamental questions also, but definitely for the day-to-day questions right away. And we find that we are taking more clear decisions, more profound decisions, we have a more sense of self, we feel more whole, and we don't feel like we are somehow under the control of a mind that doesn't listen to us. So I have with me students, if you're wondering, my older students, why I have this set up here. As you know that I spend so much time looking through this book and that book, sometimes. I never know, sometimes I teach only from here, sometimes I like to take a reference. So I don't know how the class will proceed, because I don't listen to my mind, I listen to my soul. So we will see how it proceeds. But I thought that if I'm better organized, you can use the time. And I think we can continue using this. What do you think, students?
Yes.
I like it. Almost 5,000 years ago, a battle was about to be fought. On one side were a whole army of strong prince, hundreds of them, brothers, who were heir to a kingdom, or who had kind of, they were not real heirs, but they had laid claim. And the real owners, the real inheritors of the kingdom were pacifists. They were nice people. All they wanted was harmony. Just like you. Oh, come on, I only want harmony. I don't want anything. But no, life was not very kind to these nice people. Apparently their aggressive, assertive cousins took away their kingdom and said, Sounds familiar? So these other 5 brothers who are the actual inheritors and should be the actual, the actual kings of this kingdom, they tried everything, right down to diplomacy. They said, okay, keep the kingdom. It's okay. We are spiritual people. All we need is food and nature and sunshine. You keep everything. We just want 5 villages. Just give us 5 villages. We'll be happy. We will bless you. Karma will teach you a lesson. Okay, go. But this other side would not give them even 5 villages. On top of that, they caught hold of the wife. These 5 princes had a common wife. Due to a certain story, it was unknown, and she was married to all 5. There was great dharma in that marriage. They even humiliated her publicly. So finally, these 5 princes had to get something together, which was rightful anger. And they finally said, okay, we will declare war. We will fight for our right. But when the time of the war came, their main representative is Arjuna, a great warrior. And he has as his charioteer a young lad called Krishna. Some say Krishna is God. Some say, others say he's a political upstart. Others say he's a manipulator. But the ones who have eyes can see. Only the ones who have inner vision can see. Arjun felt this was a godly character. This is God. But up till then, one didn't know. So Krishna said, I will take him. So Arjun, his heart started beating. It was a righteous war. His mind started fuddling up. And he said to Krishna, take me close to the other side. Who do I have to find? And to his great unhappiness, he saw his uncles, his grandparents, his own cousins who he had climbed trees with. He saw of all and all his own teachers. They were all lined up there. Oh, I cannot do this. I'm a good person. And no wonder war is very bad. It will kill and destroy so much. I cannot fight, surely. Surely I cannot fight. I don't want those 5. I will go to Ganga. I will renounce everything. I will wear some good robes. And I will just pass my life. What is there? What will I win? There is nothing to win. Truly, spoken like a great renunciate. But this lad Krishna didn't leave him alone. He didn't say, okay, no problem, let us go back. He said to him, you are being a coward. What? You are being a coward. You have a Vishishta Dharma, you have a very specific Dharma. And that is, you are a soldier. When you have come in the army, you have to collect all your energy in your mind and you have to fight, and you have to fight to win. Now is not the time to get soft in the legs. And you owe it to your wife, your husband. Her insult has to be overcome. She has said, I will not tie my hair till you get back my insult. You owe it to protect your wife. They unclothed her in public. And you will bear this humiliation out of some kind of goodness. Your mind, it is wobbling. Control it. And you owe it to the people of of this land. You are a crown prince. These people who have by manipulation, by wrongdoing, by evilness taken what belongs to this you, what goodness will they do to the people here? The people who have started something with adharma cannot bring a dharmic kingdom. You owe it to each and every child. Fight. But I am anxious. I am anxious. Fighting is not good. Anger is not good. You are confused. There is a time and a place for everything. Use your instrument. What instrument? The mind. Bring all your knowledge and focus and win. You can do it. There is no soldier, no one who can use the bow and arrow like you do. And that time this Arjun, he says, this mind, now he's beginning to feel that this charioteer is something more. He has suddenly turned into a teacher. This battlefield has become a Gurukul. I am confused. And Arjun says, Chanchalam hi manaha Krishna pramathi val vad dhradam tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriv sudushkaram. Oh Krishna, my mind, manaha, it is constantly shaky, chanchalam. It is not becoming stable on any one resolution. Chanchalam. Pramathi. Pramathi. It is as if on some drug. The drug of fear. The drug of foolish loyalty. The drug of being a nice person. The drug of being an excessive pacifist. It is pramathi. It is not realistic. When we take a drug, when we are in alcohol, when we are drunk with arrogance, we are not real. Pramathi. Bala vad dhradam. It is so strong. I am saying to my mind, come on, pick up the bow and arrow. It is not doing it. It is so strong, it is resisting even what I am saying to it. And dhradam. Actually, I am so sorry, but it is very obstinate. It is strong and it is strongly obstinate. Tasyaham nigraham manye. This mind you are asking me to do nigraha, bring under my control, to get on with what I have to do, my dharma. Sorry. I might as well capture air. Even capturing air is more easy than capturing, this mind. This is what Arjun says. Battle is about to happen, just like in our life. One battle is awaiting us. One situation is awaiting us. And our mind is Chanchalam hi manaha Krishna. Oh Lord, my mind is not becoming stable. So, the teacher, Krishna, one never knows where one will find one's teacher. The most famous teaching in the Indian tradition occurred not in this beautiful classroom setting, not near the Ganges in harmony and in sunrise and sunset, not under the banyan tree in the ashram, not while pressing the feet of the teacher in sentimental renunciation. The greatest teaching on the mind occurred in India, in the battlefield, in the battle of lifetime, in the battle between the evil and the good forces, in the battle between what the mind wants and what dharma dictates, in the battle between our own weakness and what we have to do no matter what, and in the battle between, it is not necessarily that goodness is, we don't see goodness or evilness, but the battle between those opposites and reality. And this is the battle of the great Mahabharata, in which the great teacher said, Asamshayam Mahabaho Mano Durnigraham Chalam Abhyasena tu kauntaya vairagena cha grihate. Lord Krishna says, he doesn't say, okay, 6 months we will postpone the battle. Is there life like that? The lawsuit, the marriage proposal, the impudent student, the difficult position, the bankruptcy, the difficult lab results, the foreclosure, everything is happening now. And mind is the instrument that will either act with dharma or it will fail. And even failure is a dharma or wrong action is a dharma. And Krishna the teacher say, asamshayam mahabhav, oh, without doubt. He gives some strength to the student, without doubt. You're not wrong. You didn't scold the student. What's wrong with you? No. Come on, do it. No. Asamshayam mahabhav. Great one, you are right. However, this mana is definitely difficult to control. It is very chanchal. At the same time, abhyasena tu kauntaya. If you just practice abhyas, if you just practice what he will teach, what we will talk about, if you just practice that, believe me, this mind will come completely under the control like a trained pussycat. And then this mind becomes to our complete advantage. And in that battlefield, the teacher taught Kauntaya, means the son of Kunti, Arjuna, the most amazing lessons on psychology. And back in those days, a few words spoken by the teacher were received exponentially by the student, because the student was not distracted by multitude of information, multitude of things. They were internalized and they were activated in the form of a life that is lived completely. The reason I chose to start this class on Ayurvedic psychology and Yoga Darshan with such an intense and wonderful conversation between a student and a teacher is because this is also a Gurukul. And these kind of conversations are going on. And if we don't have these kind of conversations, we will not learn some very vital things that Ayurveda can potentially offer us. Ayurveda offers us a very realistic understanding of the mind and not a fantastically spiritual, unrealistically sentimental, or hopeless, or a dark image of the mind. We are not battling the mind in Ayurveda. We are understanding the mind. We are reining the mind. We are training the mind. And then we are utilizing the mind to fulfill our material goals, and then our interpersonal goals, and then our spiritual goals. Are you ready? You want to do that? Okay. That is the whole point of the mind. So it's a very positive psychology, and the psychology that Ayurveda has put forward is so amazing that many of you may have been to therapists, many of you may have been hobbyists studying Carl Jung or Freud and all of these amazing, interesting scholars and contributors to psychology. Well, let me tell you that thousands of years ago, Ayurveda had his own fountainhead of psychology, and his name was Rishi or Sage Charaka. Rishi Sage Charaka was not only a psychologist par excellence, but he was also a doctor, an internal medicine doctor par excellence. And the reason he was able to be successful in both arenas was because, my dear students and friends, Ayurveda never differentiated and pigeonholed mind and body into two different categories. In fact, among the various causes of mental disorders, many bodily conditions including the prakop or the excitement of vata dosha, some of you know about that, is one of the causes of mental insanity. Similarly, fever alone can cause some level of mental disturbance, certain kinds of fever. Certain kinds of diarrhea can begin due to mental problems. So, there are all these interconnections, which I will not go into right now, but it has to such an extent that it has been proclaimed by the sages of Ayurveda that almost every disease in Ayurveda is manodahi, which means it has mind and body involvement. It may so be that the adhishthan or the main foci may be body or mind. But to say that, oh, this is just an acne and there is no mind involved in it is to really fool ourselves. Or to say, oh, well, this is just a little bit of heartburn because, there's a little valve that's allowing it to come through. Well, when Ayurveda will look and go deeper and deeper into concentric circles into your being, we will realize how much your mind has played a role in even that gastric situation. So, in our culture, in our medical culture of Ayurveda, mind is to that extent involved in the body and body to that extent in the mind. That is why if any of you are participating in a low-cost community clinic, you will find the questions, the answers, the sessions, they range from your social well-being, mental well-being, spiritual well-being, and of course, physical parameters. They are all taken into consideration. But what is that unique feature? What is that unique understanding that Ayurveda could possibly give if you continue to study here and learn with us? Because this is a preparatory class to understand future education and what it brings to you. It says to you that actually each one of you, whether you are looking for material happiness, whether you are looking for relationship-oriented happiness, whether you are looking for professional happiness, whether you just want to be lazy, whether you are a renunciate, whether you want to be a bitter, nasty, sarcastic, cold, frigid person, passing comments on everybody you can, whether you want to be just a person who's melancholic and lying in the bed and saying, life has passed me by and I feel purposeless, whether you are a great messiah sitting on some great platform declaring that you will save the world, and whether you are a little ant struggling with a little piece of sugar, taking it to your home because the rains are about to come. We are all equal in the one desire that unites us, humanity. And according to the great psychologist Charak, each one of us living creature is looking, shamelessly looking, blatantly looking, openly looking, and sometimes subversely looking for only one and one thing, which is happiness. Some find the happiness in being a lazy bump. Some find the happiness in being a CEO with a trail of companies. Some find happiness in having a closet that would put Imelda Marcos to shame. Some find happiness in saying, I just wear 2 clothes because I donate the rest to the world. But the reality is, we are all looking for happiness. Sukharta sarva bhutanam mataha sarvata vrittaya nana gnana visheshatu marga marga pravittaya. Everybody is looking for happiness. The psychological issue develops now that based upon the knowledge or the ignorance, one will choose the right path or the wrong path in the mind and accordingly achieve happiness or not. We all set out to achieve happiness. If we achieve happiness, we are happy temporarily till the next happiness we want, right? And if we don't achieve happiness, we are unhappy. And we blame and we criticize and we blame fate, we blame God, we blame our partners, of course, then we can blame our parents. But the reality is that ignorance and knowledge, they are the defining parameter. So why do I share this with you? I share this to future students of Vedika to let you know that in Vedika, through Ayurveda, in the psychological domain, we don't talk about just what went wrong in the life. We talk about what path we need to be walking upon from morning till night, so that through that path we can achieve the happiness which is our birthright. And this happiness can be the best of material happiness, the best of interpersonal happiness, the best of spiritual happiness. Who is saying to us not to achieve happiness? But we should also discriminate in what we are seeking. Are we settling for dysfunctional relationships, or are we settling for clear, transparent, empowering relationships in the interpersonal arena? And then what is the marga? What is the path through which we will become an empowered and empowering co-creator of a wonderful relationship? Are you understanding? On the other hand, in the material realm, are we going to become just consumers of mindless boxes of chocolate, caffeine, drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, or food just of any kind, boxes and boxes of them? Those pretty looking yellow ducks which are full of sugar and stuff. Peeps. Gum. I'm following my happiness. Maybe 1/4 of it. Maybe the beak. What kind of foods are going in your system? We will give you a small demo of a wonderful spirit enhancing food for the mind, balancing it, calming it tonight. And what kind of food? What kind of home? Sacred, open, beautiful, open to the world, sharing. What kind? What kind of material assets we want? Where do we reach our sense of satisfaction? Is it money we want, or is it abundance we want? Is that abundance from a place of generosity and sharing, but from a place of constantly worrying about what's in our bank account? Example, the richest person can be feeling really small and worried, and a person living in a small apartment could be feeling like, I own the world. So what's that difference in the kind of sukha that we want? Similarly, at the spiritual level, do we want to become, blindly caught up in some kind of spiritual tradition or understanding, or do we want to use whatever is outside to go inwards and inwards to connect with the source of everything, which is the self? So we can evaluate the choices, we can then find out valid pathways, and then we can walk upon them, and we can hold on to knowledge that teaches us that. And then what will happen is, in the journey on earth itself, without having to die and have nirvana and salvation and moksha and all of those so stupendous things, we can start feeling free and wonderful and happy today. There is some guilt around happiness, but Charaka, our Ayurveda sage, says, yeah, you're right. You know that thing that you've been wanting, which felt like it lived in mommy's milk, then it lived in like that little bottle, then it lived in your teddy bear, then it lived in your daddy, then it lived in your love, your first love, then it lived in your little baby, then it lived in your favorite couch, then it lived in this book. What were you seeking? You were seeking sukha. And what is this person seeking? They are seeking their sukha. Do we have to battle with them for the sukha? No. We have to find the right path. So what is Ayurvedic psychology in Ayurveda about, at Vedika about? It is about knowing that path, learning that path. This path is not shown by me or my grandfather. This path is shown by sages. By sages to my grandfather, my great-grandfather, and me. And to our senior teacher, and to our president, and to our students, and to you who is new here. This path is a path walked and lived and rejoiced upon. So then Ayurvedic psychology is then definitely a very positive psychology. So in children, we can lay the seeds of a positive psychology. But in adults, when students come here, when patients come here, when clients come here, when audiences come here, we start showing the path. And this path comes from these scriptures. We call them scriptures because we, not from a religious place, but there is no other word to translate grantha. Or we can say revered text, or we can say foundational text, we can say that. So what is this path? There are two kinds of paths. One path is called pravritti path, marg. One is called nivritti marg. Marga means path. In this pravritti marga, what happens is that it is the marga that usually we are on already. It is the default path. In this path we walk, especially when we become adult and we feel all our desires, right? When we were young, we only felt a few desires. When we are older, we feel a lot of desires. Do you agree? And each day there are more desires. And each desire fulfillment leads to more desires. In this path, our existence in this world through our mind is default, and it becomes more and more dense. More and more dense. There is no separation between I, the self, and the instrument that I have, which is the mind. The instrument that Krishna was reminding Arjun's self to control and utilize it as an instrument and do what you have to do, which is performance of your divine duty, dharma. Here in the pravritti path, the mind and the self has no separate existence apart from what the mind tells it that it is. I am sad today. I am unhappy today. I am smart. I am unsmart. I am worthy. I am unworthy. And so there are stages, I'll just give you a quick example. So Charak has said that it first begins with ahankar, egotism. And 20 something, I am so and so, I am of this color, this sexuality, in this family, I am from this neighborhood, I go to private school versus public school, I listen to this music versus that music, I am a product of that school versus this school, and I am on this side of the hemisphere and not that side of the hemisphere, and hence I am this entity, and hello world, I am here. Ahankara, egotism. Wait, I don't gel with that. Oh, sorry, I don't agree. You don't have my vote. Yeah, right, like the universe is waiting for your vote. I don't agree and I don't really care. Yeah, ahankara. I don't believe in God or intelligence or nature or creation. You see, who doesn't believe? Who are you? I don't believe in all this ancient medicine business. I want evidence-based medicine. Give me the data. I. Or I believe in this alternative medicine. I will burn the laboratories of the modern other extreme. I believe in war. I believe in peace and I'll kill you if you believe in war. Thank you for allowing me to have humor, because this is the most depressing aspect of our reality, this ahankar. There is something called a good ahankar and all of that, but we are not in that. We are talking about how we get into the world, the pravritti marg. First ahankar. Little baby is born, it has no ahankar, its mind is in a baby seed. It doesn't even know its mother up till now, right? Once it knows its mother, it starts saying, mommy, mommy. But in the very beginning, anybody who feeds them, they are happy. Anybody who tickles them, they are ready to go home with them. Have you seen that? With your babies, they have no boundaries. And many times, little toddlers, you want to go for a walk? Yes. They will say bye to their parents. They are gone. Mother will feel so shocked. I fed you 5 times a day and you are living with auntie. They will feel like that. Right? They have no sense of ego. They don't think I belong here, I live in 3957 Dorrington Court, this is my house, this is my mother, and by the way, they don't have this. So they love everyone. Anybody looks at them, they smile. They don't think, oh, gee, this person has a slightly large nose. And even the dog, when the family dog comes and licks them, they lick back the dog. Because for them, everything is same. Because they are feeling, they have no ahankar till now. So our baby here is our role model, by the way. And this is the human being that is growing ahankar. This is Charak, 5,000-year-old science. First, egotism. Then the next is the state of Sangha. What this Sangha here means, Sangha also means community, it also means good community. But many words in Sanskrit, Sangha also means coming together of what? Of this ego and the world and its objects. So, I like red. I like you. I am this. I, the world. First I, and now some kind of a attachment. A position has been taken. A structure has been defined. The mind is getting more and more concretized, dense. And then samshay, doubts. What kind of doubts? No, I am not different from, I am a woman. No, what are you saying? I am a soul? Are you crazy? My religion doesn't believe in soul. No, what are you saying that I am the same as the ant? Are you crazy? Please don't say that. I am a head teacher at Vedic Avlokana. So we can talk like that. We have no doubt. And the teacher is teaching. I think I reserve my right to have my doubts. Because we have attached to certain clusters of ideas and they define us and we have no longer remained open. Are you understanding? We're no longer, little child, you show them how to make bubbles, they become the bubbles. You show them how to play with mud, they have become mud. You show them how to tickle, they tickle you back. You show them how to, just switch on the TV, they try to rebuild it back. Anything they can do, children. So, but here the doubts have started. Limitation is there. So, then more and more steps are there, so I don't want to go into each one of them. But the next step, just in brief, is a very limited identity is born. You are an unlimited potential. Each one of us is actually right now an unlimited, infinite potential. Our mind has the capacity to tap into the entire universe and its power and its knowledge and its bliss. And here we are sitting as limited beings saying, I wonder what my lab test will tell me if I'm A positive or B. We have become so limited. We have become a race. We have become a container. We have become a religion. We have become... Now, this is different from Vishishta Dharma, which you take on. Okay, I'm a mother. I have to do these duties. But being a mother should not define us, you see. But we become defined. This is the internal process. And based on this limited reality, we also develop some sense of ownership. Ownership. There's very jealousy develops. And now it's like, oh, my friend talked to that person. Jealousy. Envy, jealousy, ownership, more ego. Then we start having somebody will tell us. Even the ordinary therapist out there will tell us. The teacher here will tell, look, it's okay, let it go. Your child is okay, the child can study from another person also. You can see that I did not have ownership over my son, you better be under this lineage. I thought, let him benefit from this wise person. And then if he feels you should voluntarily study, no? But otherwise, oh, what is this? What? No, it's okay. And my son also thinks one of my other student is his role model. I'm so glad. It is voluntarily that Atma Jyoti is his role model. Thank God. So I'll groom my student and my student. But his relationship with me is voluntary. Versus me getting, come on. See, that's the difference. Or my son, no, you cannot move. No, how we become about our children? No, you must study medicine, not engineering. You must do architecture, not art. Art has no money in it. Why you are studying Ayurveda? Nobody knows how to pronounce it. So many things are there. So this is we study it in our psychology. I know some of you students want to hear it, first year students, second year students, but we have a detailed process. It's too much for the new students. I'll stop here. But in the end, there is identity crisis, there is ignorance, we are caught in the world, there is just no separation from it. We believe death occurs to us, and if death occurs, it's real, and that's the end of me. We believe aging is just like the worst thing that can happen. Hello, when the tree is aging, it's okay, that's okay. But it should not happen to me. That I don't think so. I doubt that this is a natural process. I highly doubt it. Aging, death, natural occurrences. Oh, what happened? Behaving like fools. Humans behave like fools. Can I say that word? I mean, I acknowledge myself saying the foolishness. But animal will have a baby in the litter. One is dead. It will lick it. Then it will focus on the living ones. Have you seen that? Tree, it is flowering on one end, it is dropping on another end. Rest of nature is at peace with the universal laws, except human being. And when the partner will come, infatuation will occur, then infatuation will go down, heart will be broken. Why? Something that will go up will come down. Is law of nature. No? So these things we are unable, this pravritti marga. At this time, mental health is lost, and most of the people, be it students, be it average people, not that, oh, you have it, you are on that path and I am not saying that. As humanity, we are on this path. This is our default path. But the study of Ayurveda here at Vedika is a constant encouragement to walk on the other path, which is the path of Nivritti. And with each step, we go from denseness to lightness until at the very end, we recognize our true self. We recognize that the mind is a very subtle, amazingly intelligent, wondrous divine instrument of a divine being that lives inside us, which is our true self. And then begins the play, the Leela. Then the human being becomes light, the human being starts, being more steadfast through ups and downs of life, and is using appropriate emotions. It's not just I am an angry person, or I am a sad person, or I am a giving person, all these titles which box us. Rather, I am angry when I need to be, I am happy when I need to be, everything has an appropriate place, and this is the way it is. This is all my different tissues from the box. This is what I am drawing as need be, but the real personality is infinite and open to be what it needs to be in the moment to perform the dharma. In the moment, because I can tell you this, that even as a teacher, and my students will agree, I don't have a personality. Do you agree? Am I an angry person? Am I a strict person? Am I a compassionate person? Am I a flexible person? Am I a storyteller? Am I academic? Will I take you to task for being late, or will I say, okay? Can you predict this, any one of you? Yes or no? No. You know why? Because I don't feel compelled, as per the pravritti marga, to be something, a label, a personality, a box, a position. It is a simple achievement. It is not a very big achievement to write a bestseller about. But I can tell you this, it surely relieves me to be who I am. It is the mind that takes positions. Mind says, look, don't mess with me, I'm a strict one. Oh, I give it back. I talk it back, Have you heard of people saying that? And they feel compelled all the time to do that. I'm a weepy one, so I cry. Why cry all the time? Why laugh all the time? Why be sad all the time? Hurry, enjoy. Let them relax to the mind, and then the appropriate experience will come and go. And that coming and going without holding is a state of wonderful experiencing that the mind is capable of bringing. So this pravritti marga and nivritti marga. So people who walk on the nivritti marga don't become monks and saints. Monks and saints is a unique profession chosen by certain people. And it is a profession. Profession means it's a way of life. It even earns some livelihood. It brings about appropriate fame, name. Just as a CEO gets livelihood, name, fame. And can I make that point? All okay. But Nivritti Marga CEO will feel liberated in the movement. Nivritti Marga husband or wife will feel free to co-create their life in the moment. Nivritti Marga student or teacher will be free to exchange the knowledge in the given moment. But Pravritti Marga husband, CEO, monk, saint will feel very rigid, defined and have internal demons. This is what I expected, this is what I didn't want, this is what my eye doesn't approve, I really doubt this, I cannot go beyond this, this is what my personality will allow, this is what it will not allow. And by now I have become completely confused, I am a mess, I have become disassociated and so on and so forth. So two marga I have clarified to you. And Arjuna in that moment in the battlefield was standing in Pravritti Marga. And at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, after the discourse of the teacher, that student had become established in Nivritti Marga. And what did he do after being established in the Nivritti Marga? He fought a battle. He fought the fiercest battle with the most bloodshed and he won it. Because that is what the situation was demanding of him. Uttishta Arjuna, get up and pick up the bow and fight. So what are we doing in Ayurvedic psychology and Yoga Darshan? Yoga is the science, and Yoga Darshan is the science that will teach us so much about the mind. Because if we want to train something, we have to understand. We have to understand it. Without understanding it, it is not possible to train it. So it is Yoga Darshan that tells us that, this mind, this Chitta Bhumi, this consciousness, mind in Ayurveda is also called Sattva. It is also called Chetas. It is also called Manaha. But when it is called Sattva, it usually includes the mind, the taking in of the stimuli and the acting out, the buddhi, the intellect, which understands and stores information and builds larger concepts, and the ahankar, the ego, which associates it with the self. Right? You can have a functional ego or dysfunctional ego, but everybody has some level of ego. So sattva, whenever we discuss in Ayurveda, mind has been used as sattva, which includes all of these functions. These are called antahakaran or inner organs. This includes the regular mind, day-to-day mind, the moment-to-moment mind. It includes the intellectual function, and it includes buddhi, and it includes the ego function. Ego is also important. At this stage, ego is needed. This sattva is of, according to Yoga Darshan, we understand, of 5 kinds. At its very blocked in pravritti state, fully fused with the world, suffering the pangs of the world is unjust, the world has hurt me, nobody is with me, projecting that sorrow and suffering, that kind of world, that kind of state of mind, it is full with a certain quality and it is a quality of obstruction. What is the obstruction from? The soul's wisdom. It's an obstructive quality, is very dominant in the mind. And it is called as Mooda. Mooda, M-U-D-H-A, Mooda. Mooda means, shall I say, fool. Fool. Now, scientists are saying, it is the same mind is capable of becoming the illumined one. So it is okay to, this is not an emotional judgment here. This is scientific. It's a foolish state. It is not real. The world has not done anything. Very large wisdom is involved here. Obstructive state of mind. Cannot see. Even if somebody explains something, cannot understand. Yes, but. No, I don't know. I'm feeling sleepy now. My headache. Tears are coming, cannot stop. Mooda. This state fully fused with the world. Its people, its events, its experiences, the past, the present, the future, they're all cooking in the cauldron and you are, drowning in it in the suffering. I have been there. Any one of you been there? Spent time there in that inn? Huh? Very nice. Very instructive. Never want to go back there. Never want to go back there. Second, this is a state where there is at least not so much obstruction, but there is some agitation. In this agitation, sometimes it is less, so it feels a little more powerful. But sometimes its agitation in itself is a problem. Heck, some new information comes, then obstruction feels it has moved. But the agitation in itself has brought in so much new information to the sattva, to the mind, intellect and the ego, that now one is swinging. Wait a minute, am I depressed or am I bipolar? Or maybe I'm having a spiritual awakening. It could be Kundalini. I should talk to Shunya about it. Or maybe it's just not me, it's my roommate. So, changeability, turbulence, moodiness. And this is the quality of, instead of obstruction, something is being unobstructed, but so much speed, there is agitation. And this state is called Kshipta, K-S-H-I-P-T, Kshipta. Yoga Darshan informs us, Patanjali informs us of this, the sage. This is utilized in Ayurveda. At least it is not obstructed, it is not dead. In the obstructed state, one says, I am numb. This is serious. The world was so painful that I have become numb. I am like a rock. Suffering is frozen. But it is not a good state. It feels like it's a good state, but it's not good. Imagine walking around with say you ate a meal and it never got digested. How you will feel? How you will feel? Especially if it was at a Las Vegas buffet where you overate. Then you never digested it. How that would feel? That is the obstructed state. You have to eat a meal every day, you feel tired, you feel unhappy, you can't express yourself. Occasionally something comes out but it doesn't connect, that's obstructed. And then in the Vikshipta state, in the agitated state, in the Kshipta state, there is the quality of agitation. So you never know what is coming out. Sometimes the angry person is coming out, sometimes the you don't better mess with me is coming out, sometimes the I am so sorry for being alive is coming out. So it is slightly, if you go to the doctor, you will get some medication. But I doubt anything can help you except some good old self-observation. I am agitated, I better close my eyes. And in the third one, there is hope. Now slowly a third quality of the mind due to the grace of the Guru, grace of the Grantha, grace of your past karma that has brought you in good company, satsanga, due to doing some selfless service, one day you did something good for someone. No? You bypassed somebody who was looking for food and they looked miserable. You turned your car around just to give them the money. You just did it. Just that alone brought some another quality in you. And that quality is called, in itself it is called sattva. It is the quality of illumination. Where is the illumination coming from? Not outside. There is an inner sun that never sets. That is the illumination of the soul. And this now the mind is, in spite of the agitation, getting some illumination upon the agitation. And every time that illumination occurs, the agitation becomes arrested. As if in the darkness and the craziness, the teachers came out and played. But when the sun came out, all the demons had to hide because they could not deal with the light. Huh? Sounds Harry Potter-like? It's literally like that. When the inner illumination, this is sattva. Now we have hope. There is potential to get healthy. This state is called vikshipta. In this, what happens is illumination goes on increasing. One felt good. And it's not an egotistic good, I gave $10 to the person. One felt kind of relieved to help someone. One felt, and it fed me, you know. One didn't feel like one has obliged someone. One felt, or, you know, you came to Vedika, my students come and all the tasks get done by Vedika students. Selfless seva, washing the dishes away. You only use one dish you washed. You gave everybody some rest to wash 40 dishes. Something feels lit. What is that? I had a student who came to me with myriad headaches for 20 years. Then I just gave her one seva. I said, you clean the lamp. It's a famous story now. You clean the lamp. That lamp got lit inside her. Because she had never done anything for anybody except earn a living and worry about a headache. She lit the lamp. She didn't even believe in it. She didn't understand it. But she lit the lamp. And that became the make-up call for her. So sattva goes on increasing and the obstructive and the turbulent, agitated qualities start reducing. More and more illumination. But it is not a stable state. When there is illumination, one feels, I think I don't have so many questions in my mind, and I know I have very low bank account, but my mind doesn't feel anxious. And my girlfriend did say that don't go to the teacher, you're getting too relaxed. You should worry. But I'm not feeling this worry. I'm kind of okay, and I really enjoyed eating that light Ayurvedic food I'm learning. I'm not craving that pizza so much. And then when my mother-in-law came, who used to try my nerves, I actually had fun conversations with her. And I was not hating her power, I was in my power. I was able to talk to her. And by the way, when that dreadful separation from my cousin came, when my cousin left for so-and-so land, I was okay, I believed in his journey. This is all sattva, light, inner light, inner light. Some agitation comes up, chances are collapse. So in the vikshipta state, sattva is more, but the agitated state, which is called rajas, can potentially rob us of that well-being. But still, once one has experienced the true candy, who will want to go and eat the cheap ones? They will want to eat the Girardi Square, the good one, organic chocolate. They will not want to eat the Kmart chocolate, no? They want the real stuff. That is good. Now the mind is healing. We don't need 1,000 hours of counseling and 500 hours of forgiveness. In the light, something is revealed, and that is dharma. Dharma. What is dharma? What is right for me as a soul is right for everyone. Forgiveness is my natural, instinctive, divine nature I don't have to pay someone to learn to do it. I am flowing it. Just like when I'm pregnant, milk coming out of my breast is my motherly biological dharma. When somebody has regret in their eye and they mean it, then forgiveness is my natural state. And even if someone doesn't ask, I may have a battle with them, but I can still forgive. Dhriti kshama damo aste, shaucham indriya nigraha. So, kshama is one of the top priorities in dharma, universal. Dhir vidya satyam akrodha, dasham dharmam lakshana. So, among the universal dharmas, I talked about sadharan dharma. Kshama is one of them. And Ayurveda says, Charak has taught, mental health, we are learning. It is a value which student is learning, and I am watching them that they incorporate it. And the battle is not to be bought from krodha. The battle was not fought from anger. It was fought from dharmic anger. There is a difference. Krodha is when you have lost your senses. And the dharma, when dharma requires you to fight a battle, it is a different thing. When dharma requires you to cut the animal because you are a butcher and you have to feed your child, it is different from breaking the vows of vegetarianism. Do you see the difference? There is a difference. So kshama, it is often said that, there might be a time when somebody is undeserving of the kshama. So it may be a logical thing at that time. So we teach Vishishta Dharma that let that person do some genuine penance and then offer it. But then there is another universal kshama that is a blanket anyway of one human being to another, because we all know we are lost. We all know our mind is not where it should be, right? So there is a different level. And so therefore, in the Vikshipta state, because the internal light is revealing the dharma, whether one knows Sanskrit or not, whether one goes to Ayurveda class or not, many people will feel illumination from within and their life starts changing. The different thing is that when you are in a Gurukul, when you are in a teacher, when you are in a certain company, when you are reading certain texts, which keep bringing up into your smriti, into your memory, the same knowledge, the mind will not get distracted and it will get honed in, because Krishna said you have to do abhyasa. You have to practice. And what do you have to practice? You have to practice vairagya. What is vairagya? Raga means again pravritti marga, you are going towards the world. Vairagya means you are coming back towards the self. So constantly practice. My mind runs here, I bring it back. And my mind runs to you, my dear, I bring it back. My mind runs to eat this, I can eat it, but my mind should not stay there. I should bring it back. This is called vairagya. People think vairagya is, wearing some saffron clothes or white clothes or not having a family or not eating good food. No, vairagya means enjoying the world but not becoming a part of the world. Like you go to a hotel room, enjoy it. Hope you have a jacuzzi in your room too. May you have a successful material life. Enjoy every pleasure, but do you bring everything back to your house? You don't. You know it is a hotel. You use it accordingly. You put it back. You say Namaste, Ram Ram, Jai Ma, and you leave. This is the way we come on the world. This is the way we do bhog of the relationships. If we were with our boyfriend, girlfriend, mother, father, as long as this relationship is, let me be perfectly dharmically enjoying it to my fullest. Raga would be, oh no, if my mother dies, what will happen? Oh no, if this boyfriend finds someone else, what will happen? Then we are, oh no, if the hotel has some other person after I have slept in it, what will happen? We can have heartbreak at every corner of life. But the wise one practices abhyasa of what? Vairagya. This is another teaching from the Yoga Darshan, that we practice abhyasa vairagya. Constant practice of vairagya. Because Raga, Viraga, separate. Raga is when our thoughts, our mind is flowing to the world. When you are doing seva here also, the thought should be, I am doing seva, but then it should not come back to the world. I am doing seva. Everybody better see how many dishes I have washed. And when I wash it, the dishes are always nicer than when she washes it. Right? That is Raga. Vairagya is washed it. Next. What is next? Help someone on the road? In. So that you sleep at the end of the day and nothing more has built up. You are conservation of energy, conservation of personality, keeping it simple, keeping it light, minimal. You know, the arithmetic score should not be more than 0, remain 0. That is my name, no? Remain 0. Here, Shunya. 1, 2 plus is personalities, Raga. So therefore, this is Vikshipta state. But if one goes on doing Abhyasa and Vairagya at this point, if one has reached, because Muda doesn't understand, what is this? You are saying, free class, they will get food, I don't go. I am too tired. Can you open a facility in like Morgan Hill where I live? Even if you open the facility, I'll think if I'll come. Because I highly doubt. Besides, nothing will help me. I am a lost case. Many people have tried, I am cursed. Oh, you really live up to your curse, yes, it's full-time job. No, Shikta, I was about to come, but then suddenly I saw a movie billboard, I went there. I even paid, can I get a refund? Okay. But then they forget to take the refund. Agitated. Doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. I was about to sign for Ayurveda, but now I am in medicine, I'm studying acupuncture. No, I was about to complete acupuncture, but then I went to this ashram in India. Now I have married somebody there. Vikshipta, change it. Then Vikshipta is, wait a minute, I don't have to move so much. In any science, I can excel and serve humanity. Serving humanity begins talking politely to my own son, to my own husband, and speaking my truth. Speaking my truth. Speaking my reality. Not walking over someone and not letting someone walk over me. Not being manipulative. Not pretending to be goody-goody. Being good. Illumination center. This person, when they do Vairagya Abhyasa, when they start because what does Vairagya, practice of Vairagya will do? It will destroy the ego. Do you agree? The very first step will be destroyed, the whole tree falls away. See, Pravriti Marg started with the ego, Ahankar. Destroyed. I am an instrument of the divine. I am serving. Now what happens? Now a state comes and it is called Ekagraha. The Ekagraha state of mind, Ekagraha means focused. Now there is just this light. There is occasional activity, but to serve the light. There is no obstruction. There is no agitation. There is activity. Now whether this person is writing a software code, whether this person is writing a book, whether this person is getting married, whether this person is cooking food, they are having a state of light. Have you had moments of it? So good. It is not staying. It is not that suddenly somebody told you something and all is lost for you. No. There might be something and then it's only light. Ekagra, sattva. Even the battle is fought from sattva, light. Bloodshed is made from light. What a state of mind. Huh? This light is not fake light. No, I am a vegetarian. No, I am Hindu, no. I am Jain, I am Buddhist. No. Look, I have to eat. I am in a jungle. This is what I have eaten. When I will die, somebody will eat me. I am real. Be real. This is Vedanta coming in. None of these isms. None of these religions, everything has gone. Okay, today there's no gratefulness also. Fake gratefulness. Fake gratefulness to teacher. Yes, I deeply appreciate what you mean. And I will pay you back by becoming a teacher to someone. This is what you want. If you're a true teacher, you want to awaken everyone. I will serve you by becoming an awakened one and waking everyone. I'll join your cadre. And a true teacher will say, yes, join me and rise above me. Reality, none of those fake. Sorry, teacher, I'm groveling. Sorry, this is my religion. This is what it allows. I'm very spiritual. I'm always like this, like an angel. No, my eternal anger, no. It is not suppressed. It is real people have expressed it when there is need. Okay? So it's like that. They don't say, no, I don't eat. No. Spiritual people have a healthy appetite based on the season, based on their Agni. What they need, they will eat. No, I am very spiritual. I only live on air. Sorry. Not like that. Reality. Ayurveda is real. Ayurveda, if you study psychology and spirituality of Ayurveda, it will not allow you to become a fake, and I will not allow you to become a fake. That is at Vedic. And we don't have fakes here. That's a good thing. We can all be ourselves. We are humans. We are incarnated spirit. If we had to be only spirit, like Casper, then that would have been a different realm. What do you think, Trishakti? But here with the human body, we have 5 senses, Panch Mahabhautik Sharir, and we like our Sukha, and our Rishi says that we can follow it. But we follow it with Vairagya. Go play that, what is it called, slot machine. But don't get addicted to it. If you lose, you lose. Laugh. If you win, laugh. See, that's the spirit of Vairagya. Make millions, Vairagya. Lose it, Vairagya. Still, self never goes away. That is Vairagya. Remember this is a teaching of the mind. This is what our text is teaching. Simple teaching. That is why in our clinical work, in our school here, advancement of the mental health is very fast. Many of my students, I don't even know if they are married or they have children or what is their life story. We don't need the story. We know only one reality, your soul. Go inside. Then the last stage comes. It is called Niruddha. In the Niruddha state, the mind, the self has seen itself through the mind. The mind is not going on looking outside. Right now when you open your eyes, you see me, you see the world. The senses don't see it, and senses throw it back to the mind, mind sees it. But in the Niruddha state, because of spending so much time inside, going in, mind sees its own master. You will see your true self. I cannot tell you what it looks like, what it feels like. You are right now seeing me. I'm so sorry for you. You have so far. But if you saw you, then you will realize that I am you and everyone is you. Then you will realize there is no other. And all sorts of very big revelations happen. The whole universe, which felt like a mystery and a deception or an enchanting honeymoon place based upon where you are, it will fall like a house of cards and only the truth will remain. This your mind is capable of. Chanchalam Himana Krishna. The same mind becomes the source of self-realization. And if one is in a Niruddha state, this is what we call self-realized state, self-actualized state. There are many people in Niruddha state who may never be known as yogis or gurus, but they are leading super calm, super happy, super responsible, super dharmic, super free lives. Niruddha state. So the choice is upon us. The obstructive quality is called tamas. It lives in us. We are born with it. It is part of our hardwiring. if those vibrations of obstruction increase in us by hanging out with obstructive people, eating heavy, dense food, those things, it will increase in our mind. In our body also will feel heavy. Get up in the morning, you are eating sausage and eggs and coffee. Daily you have digested it, now you are ready for some cold sub and coleslaw and some cold drink. Then at 4 o'clock you are eating something, again from 7-Eleven you bought. Then at 7 o'clock you are eating dinner at a buffet and you were feeling so heavy inside, you didn't know what pain you were treating, so you ate and ate and ate. Then you went and vomited everything. Then you ate again. Obstructive life. Tamas, tamas, tamas. How wonderful our food chef and teacher walks in when we are talking about food. We were talking about tamasic food. That's why at Vedika we eat sattvic food. Then rajasic food, wine, alcohol, drugs, they will increase agitation. And sometimes drugs give us an altered state of experience. I can promise you coffee can do that too if you have had enough. And you will feel you have reached Niruddha state. But then, I'm sorry, the crash from Niruddha state is like jumping off of the bridge of Manhattan. Okay? So if you are in Niruddha state, there is no jumping. After Ekagra, there is no coming back. Till Vikshipta, possibility of slip. All my students are in Vikshipta state. Some light is in them, that is why they are here. So I tell them, spend more time here. Eat the food here. Cook certain food only, so that your Vikshipta can become Ekagra. Meditate more. Sit quietly by the altar. In our school, gossiping is not allowed. There are various behaviors. In our school, sorry to say to new students, falling in love is not allowed. And this is not a cultural, prudish thing. This is a scientific thing. To come here and look at each other's body and check it out and look for a future together is like, you've missed the bus, dude. Did I say it right, Atmaju?
Yeah.
I said it to my son and he said, now that you say it, it doesn't sound cool. I love talking about my son. And I'm having such a joy on his manhood and his pulling away from me, because I have the wisdom, thanks to Ayurveda, to know how wonderfully this flower is expressing itself, you see. And this is what we learn. We learn about ups and downs. So you can say that I'm learning, because I was never a mom of a 16-year-old before. And so it's really fun. And I have noticed, whenever he gets cranky, all he needs is some sattvic food, like spiced milk, or some of the things that we do that heal him. Or I will play mantras in another room. Or when he's silent, I will talk to his mind. He's quiet. Mind talks to mind. So all these activities we do. Charak has talked and explained about the state of the minds, and then in Niruddha state what happens? The siddhis, the powers that come up. What happens? What is possible? We live in a limited, fused dimension of self-ruin and self-sabotage and unhappiness and past, and then future fears. There is no need to do that. Yoga Darshan creates for us a deep understanding, and that is why at Vedika we study the Yoga Sutras. We understand Bhagavad Gita's relevant context, and we try to live them. That's what I would say to you. I have a feeling that we have half hour left, so I will change tracks, because my students know it. I can talk non-stop on mind, free flow, and just go on and on. I didn't cover any of the texts that I opened. If this excites you, you should explore studying it. We do interview your mind before selecting it. You can understand why, right? We really invest in the student. That is why our application process, our interview process, and a whole year of watching and observing before we take you forward to a more serious education takes place. Similarly, students should watch me and watch the teachers, so that reality and healthy mind can grow. There are a few things I wanted to share. Is it ready? We are going to give you this milk, which is very sattvic, cooked with certain sattvic spices. If you don't drink milk, don't drink it. Otherwise, just sip on it slowly. And there can you reduce the lights gradually. Pass out the milk. Just sip it quietly. Feel it in your tongue. One way to become, the mind is called anu, atomic, and ekatva. It is only one. It's like an atomic-sized particle. It's a substance. It is an inferential substance. It cannot be seen, it can be inferred. And it is defined by the qualities of anutva and ekatva, oneness and atomicness. And it is never doing like parallel tasking. You would think you parallel task. It does only one task at a time, but with the speed of light or more. So for example, if you are watching me, you are hearing me a little delayed. And that is why if your thoughts are somewhere else, even if some sounds are coming, you may or may not know what was taught. It's only where the mind is focused to that it will grab. So if you focus it inwards, what will it grab? Who lives inside? Supreme consciousness. That is a topic for our next class. Ayurveda and spirituality. Are you excited to hear about that? The concept of soul and spirit. And as we drink the milk, then I would like to just sing a mantra that I sing for my son and for myself, just for a state of the mind. But just connect these two fingers, the thumb and the index finger, and put it downwards on your knees. Close your eyes. Now, we were talking previously about body and mind being connected. Flowing between the body and mind is a force called prana. There is a whole relationship between prana, sattva, mind, prana, sattva, and brahmacharya or shukra, sex. All these equations we will study here, how they affect each other. But the moment you close this loop of thumb and index finger, we suddenly bring about a subtle change in our prana. Prana is not breath. Prana is divine force because of which breath occurs. Prana is a Mahaprana, Mahashakti, greatest of great force of the divine, from electricity to breathing, everything. Transmigration also of the sattva from one body to another, along with soul, takes place on the wings of prana. So this prana, now with this downwards, you will feel an opening in the lower part of your body where you are sitting. I'm avoiding using any terms except your own experience. And in this state, if you wish to contemplate on self-knowledge, on the self, jnana. Jnana always represents the inner knowledge. It will create an introversion. It will help in meditation. If the mind is feeling very agitated, this is especially a very good posture, mudra, to be in. It helps you look within. mudra, it is said, it brings param gati, it brings pranuthan, it brings the elevation of the pran. Param gati means the mind starts moving in the right direction, the consciousness, from being dull to being enlightened. So it will allow you to settle. It will allow you, as you make this a practice, this Gnan Mudra, it will become a practice to look inside and to access. And the accessing doesn't mean some kind of linear information, but it will be a nice time spent with some inner being, your self-awareness. Now you flip your hand and turn it over so that your palm is facing upwards and your index and your thumb are still joined. This is Chinna Mudra. It comes from Chitta, consciousness. Suddenly you will feel an opening around your heart, chest, all of your upper part of your being opens up. Now you are ready to receive. Prana again is flowing, connecting to the Mahaprana that is everywhere, inside everything. We are connected through this prana. So this prana can become a messenger of knowledge, of Rita and Satyam, truth and law. Again, turn it downwards. You will find a quiet, subtle closing. Your consciousness will become introverted. Introverted enough to look at the light within. More focused. The lower part around your stomach, in your seat. Again, flip it back. An expansion. Receptivity, receiving. I'm open for communication, guidance, teachings, blessings. Flip back, again down. I am the knower of all truth. I am the ultimate teacher. I am complete. I am Sat, Chittananda, truth, knowledge, and abiding joy. Is in my complete fold. It is illumining my own self, my power, which is filled with grace. Now please come in Namaste Mudra, fold your hands, bow your head slightly. This is the grateful acknowledgement to the truth that comes to us in myriad forms, through myriad teachers, through vidyas like Ayurveda, Yoga. Touch your heart now. Did some of you notice a difference in your chitta, state of sattva? How many of you noticed that? That is very subtle. So imagine when your body is slouching, or imagine when your body is doing namaskar to the rising sun. What is happening to your consciousness? So how we walk, how we hold ourselves, and how these profound mudras. Ayurveda has knowledge of this deep ways of influencing. So we don't treat depression or purposelessness or anxiety only by talk or therapy, but also by asana, mudra, pranayama, very much about Ayurveda. So the mind and its reclaiming from its moda or dull or stupid state to its enlightened niruddha state, that is called reclaiming, and making it functional from dysfunctional and being in pain to being super functional, to being functional when it is vikshipta and ekagra, to super functional where it has begun to help everyone else. That state. This can occur within a clinic, senior students. This should be our goal. When you see a patient with moda, you have to move them to kshipta. From kshipta to vikshipta, from vikshipta to ekagra. This is what I do with my students. Push them. Push them means keep giving them a task. Internal task. How's the milk? Feel it. Delicious. How does it sit with you? Just close your eyes and drink it. Because when you drink the milk, allow your saliva. Saliva is called bodha kapha. It serves the mind. Actually, if you allowed your saliva to mix with the food and feel it, your santosha or your satiation with food will occur at the perfect time. All food disorders disappear just by allowing the saliva to touch the food. Please know this, giving you a tip. Let the saliva and make sure your mouth is, between food sips, let the nut feel the saliva. And let it stay in your mouth. And because this Buddha kapha is like, Buddha, Bodh, to know, that is the root. So it knows. So it knows what it received. And the mind is then in the saliva. You are eating fast, then mind is not in the saliva, it is in the tea. So it then doesn't know how to digest it, how to break it down. That is why my grandfather chewed 32 times. And with this, with the drink, he would do this. It was very interesting. He was the only one who did it, and everybody laughed. And it was fine because I used to also with him. But we recently had a priest come from India, Vivek Shastri, very big Vedic teacher, and he said we should drink milk. Why? Such a good thing, let it stay in the mouth. Let it feed the senses. So I said, oh, you're talking like my teacher. Baba ate so little food, this much amount. But at one point in his life, he had such a vigorous health, I can't explain to you. Little bit of food satiated him. So the Bodha kapha pleases the mind. There is an aspect of food called prasanna. It should please the mind. So one need not only get pleasure from one's partner. One need not get pleasure only from one's promotion. One can even get pleasure from this drink. So first, keep it in the mouth, and then students, teach your clients and all new people, follow its course to the stomach and leave it there. Another thing Baba taught was this. He said, if you, people would come and say, Are Babuji, I don't like food, I am so miserable, I am so sad. Something had happened. So it felt like there is some food condition. So Baba would say, first smell the food. Now mind is with the nose. Then he would say, now just take one sip, taste. Mind is with the taste. Now just look at it. Then in India, we put finger in everything. Put the finger. We are not scared of germs. No? We live with them. We won that war long time. Dharmic war. We won it. Put the finger, feel it. And then Baba would say, listen to it. How? Just he would vibrate. And then on different foods, his vibration would change. I want to teach that at the retreat actually. Sound is of many kinds, Vaikhari, Madhyama, Pashyanti, many kinds. Para. Hemaji, I just told them that Baba was the one who drank like that, and Vivekji recently said we should drink milk. So the old school really nourished their food and their being with it. All of this, what is this? This is mind health. Mind health is not, oh, I better eat my Prozac. Mind health is not, oh, I got to keep my therapist who is really overcharging me. No, mind health is not just, okay, I got to buy a whole library of self-help books, which I never read. No, mind health is even drinking a spiced milk with joy. Little things. Mind health is these little mudras. You have many things to teach. I just gave you one example of your own mind. So be careful how you walk, you sit, how you treat yourself. If you don't take a shower in the morning, mind health goes down the drain that morning. Simple things. Why? I saw in America everybody thinks, should I shower or not? In India, you're going to die today? No problem, better take a shower. No, really. I mean, I lost my sister. And she knew she was going. So she said, can somebody, bathe me because I'm about to leave? We bathed her. Literally. I was one of them, along with my two aunties. Bathe. Shower. Cleanliness. Purity. Awaken. Meet the sun. So, these are the ways, very profound ways, we convert the mind into our friend. And we work from